Good morning, good morning, good morning. Welcome back to Children's Church. All this month we've been talking about love and all the different ways it comes and all the different ways it is, well, I was going to say all the different forms. My sentence got away from me. So, this week we're talking about love and forgiveness. So we're talking about one of the most famous, the second most famous instance of love and forgiveness in the Bible. Obviously, Jesus is number one. But we're talking about something Jesus told. We're doing another parable this week. And this one is called the parable of the Prodigal Son. Prodigal seems like a big word, but you've probably heard it at least once or twice. It's kind of made its way into people's lexicon. And I'm going to tell you the story, and then you're going to understand what it means. We are in the book of Luke, chapter 15, verse 11. And he said, he being Jesus, a certain man had 2 sons, and the younger of them said to his father, Father, give me the portion of goods that falls to me. And he divided them unto his living. And not long after that, the younger son gathered all together and took his journey into a far country. And there he wasted all of his money with riotous living. It's my favorite way I've ever heard that phrased. And when he had spent it all, there arose a mighty famine in that land. And he was hungry, and he was without money. So he went and joined himself to a citizen of that country, and sent him in the fields to feed pigs. And he was jealous of the pigs because they were fed better than he was. And when he came to himself, or when he came back to his right mind, he said, how much better are my father's hired servants than I am? How much better are they treated? I'll go to my father and I'll say to him, I have sinned against heaven and against you, and I am no more worthy to be called your son. Make me one of thy hired servants. And he went and he came to his father. But when he was yet a great way off, his father saw him, and with joy and weeping ran to him and took him in his arms. And his son said to him, Father, I've sinned against heaven, and I've sinned against you, and I'm no more worthy to be called your son. But the father said to his servants, Bring forth the best robe and put it on him. Put a ring on his hand and shoes on his feet. And bring a feast, and we're going to be merry. For my son was dead, and he's alive again. He was lost, and now he's found. And they began to be merry. Now his elder son was in the field, and as he drew nigh to the house, he heard the music and dancing. And he asked one of the servants what all it meant, and he said, Your brother has come home, and your father has killed the fatted calf, because he hath received him safe and sound. And he was angry that he would not go in. Therefore his father came out and asked him. And he answered, saying, All these years I served you, and I never did anything wrong. But you never gave me even a goat to be merry with my friends, not even a calf. But as soon as this son was come, which devoured thy living, you've killed a fatted calf for him. He said unto him, Son, thou art ever with me, and all I have is yours. It was meet that we should be made merry and be glad, for thy brother was dead and is alive again. He was lost, and now he was found. Now, I sort of get where the older brother was coming from. Hey, I didn't do anything wrong. He did everything wrong. Why does he get a party? But the father understood something that his son just didn't yet. In everyone's eyes, his brother was dead, and his father was grieving for him. So when he came home alive, not just alive, but changed, he had learned a lesson and he came back better and understanding everything he'd thrown away. And he expected rebuke. He expected to be lesser than he was. He did not think he was worthy of love and forgiveness. All he asked for was as good as a servant. And instead, his father brought him back in as a son. He forgave him, and he brought him back into the house. Because the Father understood what our Father God wants for us. We go to God, and we think we're going to get yelled at. We think we're going to get in trouble. We think we're going to get what we deserve. But the beauty of grace is that sometimes it makes life not fair. It might not be fair to our older siblings if we're forgiven when they didn't do anything wrong, and we did, but we get forgiven anyway. His Father looked at his Son with love instead of judgment. And that's what I want you to remember this week. Look at the world through love. And yes, I know that was very silly, but it's today's craft. It made me happy. So that's what I want you guys to remember this week. Look at the world through love. And remember to forgive. Have a good week. See you again next week.